Good morning, Facebook friends. Hope everybody is doing well. Just wanted to share with you direct mail that I received just yesterday, just in my mailbox yesterday. So I got this, and I've got, let's see, this one, and actually, let's see. I think there's two that are the same, that are roughly the same. Yeah, and then your vote is your voice. First of all, this is a Warnock household. We've already early voted, and hopefully you have done as well. All I'm saying is, Warnock campaign, you don't need to worry about us at all, period. We got you covered. And not only that, I have taken the time to make sure that my friends and family have a voting plan, because so many people I've noticed talk about a voting plan in the status updates, but they never talk about what exactly encompasses a voting plan. So look on my page, and I go through those steps. And one of the steps is going to iwillvote.org, so you know your exact precinct. By now, all early voting is done. There is no Saturday, Sunday voting. I believe Cobb, if you had absentee ballots, you could turn those in today, Saturday. But for everybody else, if you haven't voted, you must show up at the polls on Tuesday. And what I would suggest is to go ahead and decide a time that you're going to vote. If you haven't voted already, I would vote. I would look at maybe late morning, before lunch, and early afternoon if you haven't voted. And the reason why I say that is that a lot of people try to go and get it over with first thing, like when the polls open at 7 o'clock. Well, you're probably going to encounter a line. And then you'll be frustrated because there's a line wrapped around the building. But if you wait until about 10 or 11, the morning rush, all the people that are voting so they can just vote and go to work, they've already gone. So you would probably have, I think that you're still going to have like a good steady stream of people, but it certainly won't be as busy. And the other thing is, so polls close at 7 o'clock. If you are in line at 7 o'clock, you can vote. All right. I know that seniors, if you're 70 or older, you don't have to wait in line. And most poll workers know that. And if they ask you, they will direct you straight to the line. So you don't have to wait. And, you may encounter a poll worker that may not be sure. But hopefully you will not be impacted if you are a senior. Because I'm not going to assume that you are a super voter because you're a senior, but most seniors are regular voters than any other group. So, other thing I wanted to mention is this Center for Vote Information. I have reached out to them directly. And I don't know where they get their information from, but according to my voting history of the Secretary of State, I have not missed an election. So they have sent the same information for the runoff that they did during the general election. I've never missed an election. I don't know why they think I have. And I have opted out of their material. I noticed that that if you go to their site, I think it's Center for Voter Information, just Google it. They are doing voter outreach in certain states. So if you haven't gotten anything by now, don't worry about it. They have a message saying that they have pretty much done all the mailings for this particular cycle, so they're not doing any more. That's not exactly true because I got one yesterday. So obviously they're not taking into account the Georgia runoff. So again, many shoes are continuing to drop with the other candidate, the candidate that shall not be named on my page. Folks, what I would urge you to do is rather than continue to post memes or anything funny that candidate is doing, is to make sure that your friends and contacts that have not voted in the voted early, that they will vote on Tuesday. Polls are open from 7 to 7, 12 hours, and they need to get there. Not sure what the weather is like, but it doesn't matter. I don't care if it's pouring down raining. Somebody said on my page, I guess November 6th, it was like bright sunshine and like 72, 73 degrees. I remember back in 2000, the 2000 presidential election, I was voting, I think, in what is now the city of South Fulton. It poured the entire day. There were lines wrapped around the polling place. I believe it was Love T. Nolan Elementary School. So this myth that people will not vote or not show up because of weather, I think that's a myth. So let's not buy into that. All right. I would encourage you to find out what the weather conditions are like, traffic conditions as well. Hopefully you don't have to jump on an interstate to get to your polling place. But because most polling places should be in your neighborhood, so you should not have to travel a long distance. And then if you have any problems with voting, I notice a lot of you will just post on Facebook. There are resources as far as if you have any problems with the polls, I'll make sure to repost that. But the people who need to know when you're having problems may not read your Facebook page. And don't think that if you tweet it or post it, that that's just the end of the discussion if you're not reporting it to the appropriate parties. So govern yourself accordingly. Again, I'm sure I'll probably get about 3 or 4 more direct mail pieces between now and Tuesday, which is totally fine. I'm not complaining at all. This is an acknowledgement that I am a super voter. I know that I'm a super voter, and I take my right to vote very seriously. From the time I turned 18 to now. So that's all I wanted to say. Hope you're having a great weekend, and we will definitely talk soon.